In this video, we'll prepare a Week 10 cash lineup on the main slate on DraftKings. Hello, everyone. I'm Eric Lee. He's Michael Wiley, and we are the Fantasy Football Consultants. Michael, last week on this same show where we talked about the cash lineup, we always say we want to start off with running backs, and the running backs we picked last week were Travis Etienne, Austin Eckler, and Joe Mixon, who combined for 114 DraftKings points. So no pressure, but don't screw it up this week. Who do you like at running back?
Well, a lot of those guys aren't available. Mixon's on a bye this week. Eckler and McCaffrey, who I think would have been up there as well, are not on the main slate. But the guy who's the most expensive this week, you see him right there, that I think is well worth the money, coming fresh off his own bye, getting a ridiculous 20-plus targets every week in and week out, 30 a couple of times as well. SAQUON BARKLEY, great matchup going up the worst rush defense in the league, the Houston Texans. To me, this is a no-brainer. We don't get a chance to go after those other guys this week. Got to get him in the lineup. What do you think?
No, I like it, and I like the environment as a home favorite, 7.5 points. Reasonable implied total of 23. I like it. Okay, so the pressure's on me. So I am going to go with, in my pick, at 6,300, a bit of a savings off Barkley. In the same game, just on the other side, is Dameon Pierce. How impressive, Michael, just from a pure coaching perspective of watching this guy play. Is he not going to be a real talent in the NFL?
No, he really is. He's a stud. I've really been impressed how Houston has used him. Young, fresh.
He's the best player they have on the offense. And over the last 6 weeks, they've averaged 23 touches. And, man, you love the matchup on the other side with the Giants, who are weaker against the run than they are the pass. Even last week when they were behind, they just kept feeding him 27 carries. I like this guy for the price of 6,300.
You've saved us a little money at running back. Where do you want to go at wide receiver? Do you want to, you have somebody in mind?
I do. And I always feel unprotected, just like a baseball catcher, if I don't have Cooper Kupp in my lineup, and I'm going to want to get him in. There is no question he's had a great year this year. But you know who has not had a great year? The Ram offense, only averaging 14.5 points. Now, in this game against a suspect Arizona defense, they actually have an implied total of 9 points more than their average so far. So in other words, I expect the pie to be even bigger this week. And Cooper Kupp is so great to have on DraftKings in a cash lineup. Why? Because of the floor of receptions that he gets in a full PPR, and because he's more likely than not going to get the 100-plus yard bonus.
Yeah, no, I mean, come on. He is an automatic. Even when he had an ankle injury this last week, he's by far the security blanket for his quarterback. So got to get him in there. But guess what that means? I got to save us a few dollars. And I think I got a guy that we can do that with. It's Juju Smith-Schuster at $6,000 going up against Jacksonville. If you've been watching what's going on every time Kansas City plays after those 4 touchdowns that Travis Kelce got, Kelce's drawn a lot of attention, and that is benefiting Juju Smith-Schuster, who, by the way, has gotten 8 targets actually in all but 3 games, one of which was this last game when he had 12 targets. He's done fantastic the last few weeks, taking advantage, basically running very similar routes to Kelce because he's such a big target. Great hands in a PPR league like this. Even when he doesn't get in the end zone, he produces a very high floor. I think this is a nice $6,000 price tag.
I do too. I think it's a great bargain, and another great bargain, actually $800 less. Let's get Rondale Moore in our lineup. Quick history lesson. Moore started off the season injured, didn't play the first 3 games, but in 4 of the last 5 games, he's gotten at least 8 targets. In the last 2 games, DeAndre Hopkins was playing. He was back from his suspension, and he's still getting targeted. And this week, he gets to play the LA Rams, a Ram team that you attack more in the air than on the ground, and who has that shutdown cornerback of Jalen Ramsey, who most likely will be on DeAndre Hopkins. Should be room to roam for Rondale Moore.
Yeah, no, I like this price tag. Should we go to quarterback or do you want to go to tight end?
Whatever you'd like. I'll let you make the call.
All right, well, let's go to tight end. I think I got a bargain for us. It's very tempting to go with Kelsey given his usage, but he's just way too expensive. We got an opportunity to save, over $4,000 off of him, even though he's by far the best, tight end available. And that is Greg Dulcich. You and I have been really high on this guy. He's coming off a bye. I think the Broncos are going to find a way to, use him even more now they've had a chance to game plan. Going up against Tennessee, who've been pretty weak against the pass. Look what he's done every single week that he's played. He's, still just being broken in. He's producing from a fantasy perspective. Nice floor. He gets a nice number of targets and he gets open because he's got a lot of speed. I think this is really still more of a bargain than I expect. I know his price has come up, but it's still only $3,400. Let's get him in there.
Nah, I love this. We do need to save some money at the flex. So I am going to go way, way down at our flex at only $3,900. I'm getting Parris Campbell in our lineup. Now, look, before you turn the TV off, I was one who has been really strongly disappointed about the Sam Ehlinger-led Indianapolis Colts offense. Now, over the last 2 weeks, I've watched a lot of Red Zone, which means that I've barely seen the Indianapolis Colts offense actually playing. I think the last time, Michael, that the Colts offense were in the Red Zone, it was the team bus illegally parked. But here's the bottom line. I have hope for Campbell this week for 3 reasons. One, Frank Reich, their head coach, was fired. I actually think that is a good thing. This offense needs a shakeup. And no disrespect to your Raiders, Michael, but they get a great matchup. 26th ranked pass defense, much easier pass defense than either of the 2 teams, New England or Washington, that Sam Ehlinger has come up against. And Campbell's only $33,900 is my 3rd reason. We just need him to get back to getting some semblance of what he did in week 6 F7.
I agree. I mean, unfortunately, the Raiders' defensive backfield has been atrocious. I think Parris Campbell is going to, get plenty. And this, Sam Ehlinger is serviceable. I think he's going to continue to get better each week. But you've saved us a few dollars. We still only have $3,800 on average. And we're going to go really cheap on defense, which allows us to spend a few dollars on our quarterback. And I got a bargain for us at $5,400. It's Trevor Lawrence. And, he's going up against Kansas City, who has been very good against the run. And so Travis Etienne, who's been basically most of the Jaguars' offensive late, is really not going to be able to get the start he's been getting the last few weeks. And Trevor Lawrence has done a lot with his legs. And again, going up against a team who's tough against the run, but not so tough against the pass. I think the Jaguars are going to be in come from behind mode, going to have to throw the ball.
I mean, we both talked about a couple other quarterbacks, but of the quarterbacks that are lower price, this is our favorite. So if you're going to want to pay down a QB this week, we like Trevor Lawrence. All right, we only have $2,200. So we have 2 suitors, Michael, that I can potentially spend on, and we're going to spend up on the Minnesota Vikings against the Buffalo Bills. Look, we said it last week. It's like, look, we don't like going against the Buffalo Bills, but we said the New York Jets have a good defense, and they were bargain basement. We're going to say some of the similar things this week. The Minnesota defense has been good this year. An average of 3 sacks a game. We like that from a fantasy perspective. you can see 6, 10, 13, 4, 6, 2, 7, 12. They have been producing because of the kind of an attacking defense. So as a bargain basement play, I like them.
Yep, no, we'll do it. Much better than the one right below it. Just again going against Kansas City. So I think that we've done a good job with this lineup, getting Cooper Kupp in there, obviously Saquon Barkley. So basically the top potential running back, top potential wide receiver, all with high floors. I really like this lineup.
Michael, we are so close to getting to 10,000 subscribers. We want to thank all the subscribers we currently have. But if you were watching this video and you made it to the end and you're not subscribed, please do us a favor. Help us get to 10,000. Punch that red subscribe button. We also did a GPP lineup on DraftKings. When that video is available, it'll be on the screen now. In addition, we also did a FanDuel cash and GPP lineup for week 10. Until next time, take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.